What's going on, guys? So welcome inside of this all-new 2024 Toyota Land Cruiser 1958 edition. This SUV is equipped with a 2.4-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder hybrid iForce Max powertrain, 8-speed transmission, and full-time 4-wheel drive with a locking differential center and rear. This specific Land Cruiser, when equipped with this 2.4-liter power plant, it produces 326 horsepower and, get this, 465 pound-feet of torque. Today's video, we're actually going to talk about driving impressions. We're going to talk about what it's like driving this SUV, which is not a full-size SUV. So as equipped right now, it's a 2-row SUV, so you have 2 captain's chairs up front, and then you have space for 3 in the second row. You can get this equipped with a 3rd row. It actually has the armrests already in place for it, but this is definitely larger than your typical mid-size SUV, but smaller than your typical full-size SUV. It's kind of right in the middle. But most folks who get this SUV are definitely looking for something that is more capable of hauling a larger family. Again, in this configuration, you're only going to have a maximum of 5 seating options, but you can get this with a 3rd row option, which would give you the capability of carrying extra people with you. But now that I've been able to put some miles on this, I'd like to give you my driving impressions, basically how I feel about how this handles and drives. All right, so first and foremost, we got to get this out of the way. Price. So this SUV carries an MSRP slightly north of $59,000. And for a lot of folks, to get a Land Cruiser under $80,000 is a bargain, right? But what you have to keep in mind when you look at this specific SUV with this 1958 package and the options that it has or doesn't have, this is definitely designed for those folks who are not looking for the luxury aspect of a Land Cruiser. They're not looking for an SUV that's designed to compete against the interior of a Lexus or a Range Rover. Shoot, even a super high trim Land Cruiser is a very different vehicle versus this 1958 edition package. And what that basically means is that you're getting all of the necessities to make this a very, very capable off-road vehicle, but you're not getting a lot of the hyper luxurious features. You're not getting the largest display that they offer. Shoot, you don't even get power seats in this. So both front seats are manual seats. They are not power seats. You get power mirrors, power door locks, power windows, all of that, and you're not going to have a lot of those extra functions, even remote start. So this vehicle as equipped does not come with remote start. It doesn't even have a power lift gate. So again, keep in mind that this SUV is designed for those folks that have been looking for a Land Cruiser as maybe an overland vehicle, a project vehicle that they want to turn into something that's super, super off-road capable, maybe beyond what it already is, because these are super off-road capable. But you're looking for a package that is far more affordable because the primary use case of the SUV is going to be to go off-roading, off-grid, maybe tow a camper behind you, something that you want to get out there, you want to explore, you want something in a super reliable package that is super off-road capable, but it's not super expensive. A lot of supers there. Now, from a driving impressions perspective, it drives incredible. It has a very, very plush, smooth ride. If I had to compare it to anything, I would say it's very comparable to like the TRD Pro series that you could get on the 4Runner and on the Tacoma and Tundra. Basically, the suspension is absolutely designed to give you a very plush, soft, smooth riding experience. And it focuses on that versus a firmer riding experience that you might see with other SUVs, something that's more SUV-like. This feels more off-road, and I think, again, folks who get this are specifically looking for that type of feel from the suspension. As far as maneuverability and handling, this thing handles amazing. I dropped my wife off here at the mall. She's inside returning something, and before we got here, I was making a couple turns through traffic, and she said, wow, this thing feels so nimble, like it handles just incredibly well, and it does. That's probably the single biggest attribute I have to say about it is it feels incredibly nimble and precise. This Land Cruiser is equipped with Toyota Safety Sense 3.0 with pre-collision and the STAR safety system, as well as blind spot monitoring and cross-traffic alert, which is going to give a lot of folks peace of mind when it comes to traveling on the road, just to know that you have all of the safety features you're looking for. Now, from an acceleration perspective, this thing is super quick. Now, it feels like you have a very powerful power plant under here, because you do, but it sounds like you don't. So when you're accelerating, it definitely sounds like it's a smaller displacement engine. I honestly feel like they should have done some type of sound enhancement in here, even on this relatively low trim version of it. It would have been nice if at least the sound you heard from the inside made it sound more significant. Braking performance and everything is really cool. Now, one thing that is definitely different and interesting is when you take your foot off of the accelerator, like you're going to be slowing down, if there's a car in front of you, the vehicle kind of automatically starts to slow down for you. It feels like it's slowing down for you, which is an odd feeling at first, especially if you have to hit the throttle right after it starts slowing down, because it can feel a little jerky. But that's just inherently to how this system works. As far as the seats are very comfortable. They're cloth seats. There's nothing super fancy about them. They have a lot of really good side bolstering, which I think is going to be really good for folks who take this thing off-roading. But ultimately, the seats are just very, very comfortable. I'm very pleased with how supportive they are. I'm very pleased with how I feel while I'm sitting in this, and I feel like I can absolutely take this thing on a long trip without any worries of feeling seat discomfort. The controls for the air conditioning are actually brilliant. They work really well, and you rotate the center knob here if you want to shut the air off, or if you want to limit the flow or open it completely up. But yeah, they work really well. It is great to get air on you. And then on the center stack, you have a very similar control, though it's not in a ball and socket. It swivels side to side, up or down, and you can lock it or close it, or you can open it up and adjust the air. As far as the dash display goes, I'm not too impressed with it. Now, they gave you your temperature on the left, your fuel on the right, and the screen right here looks to be a 7-inch display. Up here, it looks like you have an 8-inch display, but the 7-inch display right here, again, it just kind of seems as if they probably could have gone larger there. I know that this is a lower trim version, but at $60,000 or roughly $60,000, it would have been nice still to have a full LCD display back here versus this much smaller screen that you have on the center of it. And you may be able to tell where the screen ends. It basically is from here to here. So it's a relatively small screen, and you know, the resolution is fine. It has really nice crisp resolution, and everything is really nice and responsive, like if you hit the accelerator pedal. And then you have your larger screen right here with navigation on it and all your typical Toyota features. This is very similar to what I reviewed in a Tundra, just smaller. And again, if you get this with a much higher trim package, the screen becomes much larger as well. But overall, I can tell you that I enjoy driving it. It is a really, really nice riding vehicle. It doesn't feel super luxurious. And if there's one thing that feels kind of odd, it's that it feels, from a riding characteristic, like a very, very high-end luxury SUV. But then you look at the interior and you can definitely tell it's been trimmed down and it's become more of a utility vehicle versus a super luxurious vehicle. Now, that said, it's not as if you're getting like a work truck version of this. This is still loaded with features. You still get your dual zone air conditioning. You still are going to have heated seats, just not cooled seats. You'll have a heated steering wheel. You still have your USB connections and your connection to connect to the infotainment system. Down here in the center stack, you're going to have all your four-wheel drive controls. You can lock your rear diff. You can lock the center diff, traction control, your parking brake, downhill assist. I mean, you still have a lot of features in this, plus all the features here. You have your voice command, and there's just a lot of really great things. LED lights, LED accent lights. It's still well equipped, just not to the level that you probably have come to expect from Land Cruiser with their high trim. But again, you're paying roughly $40,000 less, and that's a big deal, right? You're paying a significant amount less for this vehicle if you mainly want it for its reliability, its off-road prowess, and a great chassis with a good amount of space inside of it. Anyways, I just wanted to make this video while I had some time talking about how it feels, what I think about it now that I've driven it for a while. And overall, I love the driving characteristics. I love the handling. I love the turning radius, the maneuverability. It feels very nice and planted on the road, while at the same time giving you some really nice plush suspension. It accelerates great. It brakes great. It's got a lot of really great characteristics to it. We've been averaging 19.2 miles per gallon, and that's not terrible for what this is. I wish it was better. The actual numbers say that you should be getting between 22 and 25 miles per gallon. but I'm going to tell you, we haven't been driving it with fuel efficiency in mind. At the end of the day though, I can honestly say that if you are looking for a Land Cruiser and you're specifically looking for one that doesn't have all the bells and whistles, all the crazy high-end luxury features, the larger screen, the leather interior, if you're looking for something that you can use as an off-road, an off-grid, more utilitarian vehicle, but with the reliability and the reputation of the Toyota Land Cruiser, body on frame, this might be what you're looking for. Anyways, guys, please leave a comment below. I would love to know what your feedback is on this Land Cruiser, what you think about it, if this is a vehicle that you would love to own because you can now get it in a more affordable package, but still get all the off-road capability as a Land Cruiser, still get the reliability that Land Cruiser is known for. Leave a comment. I would love to know what your thoughts are. And let me know, do you prefer something like this in a totally loaded out luxury package that's $40,000 more? Or would you prefer something more along this line with the cloth seats? You know, not having some of the tech, not having some of the luxury features. Again, this is really important information, and I'm sure the folks at Toyota would love to know your opinion as well. Guys, if you haven't had a chance, please take a moment, subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, and we'll talk to you again very soon.